Okay, year 10. Today we're going to be looking at simplifying algebraic fractions. I'm quite excited about this. We've got kind of 3 or so more lessons left this year, and we should be able to get a good chunk of work. Okay, so here we want to simplify this algebraic fraction. What I would always do to simplify is think about it in 3 separate parts. So we've got this part, we've got the 3 over 18 part, we've got the x squared over x part, and we've got the y cubed over y part, and we'll simplify each part. 3 over 18 simplifies to 1 over 6 because we think what do they both divide by. Here, x squared over x, or x squared is x times x over x. So we can cancel out an x from the numerator and the denominator, meaning it just simplifies to x. And then here we've got y cubed over y. So we can cancel out again 1y from my denominator, 1y from my numerator, meaning I'm left behind with y times y, which is y squared. And finally, we can just bring our whole answer back together, which is 1 times x times y squared, which is xy squared. And then my denominator is just 6. Have a go now at this question. Okay, so the first thing you should have done is written out split into these 3 separate fractions like this. And then this is how each of these fractions simplifies. So 4/18 goes to 2/9 because they both divide by 2. Now if you've got x to the 5, so x times x times x times x times x over x to the 6, goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can cancel out. Oh, I've only drawn 5 x's on the denominator there, sorry. And so all we are left behind with, once we have finished cancelling, is 1x on the denominator. Similarly, we've got y cubed, so y times y over y squared, y times y, cancel, 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 and so we're just left with y on the numerator. After that, to get our final answer, we multiply all the numerators together. 2 times 1 times y is 2y. On the denominator, 9 times x times 1 is 9x. And so this is the answer in its simplest form. Okay, pause the video where you are and have a go at task 1 on the sheet, aiming to spend about 15 minutes or so practicing task 1. Okay, so then for task 2. Simplify these algebraic fractions. Right, point number 1, you cannot, and I cannot stress this enough, just start cancelling out x squareds at this point. And you can't do that because these things are being added together. You can't cancel things that are being added together. So what we are going to do is we are going to factorise. And we are going to factorise my numerator first of all. So when I factorise my numerator, I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to make 6 and that add to make 5. So those numbers are going to be 3 and 2. So I write x plus 3, x plus 2. And then I factorise my denominator. So when I factorise my denominator, I'm looking for 2 numbers that multiply to make negative 30 and that add to make negative 7. Okay, so those numbers are going to be 3 and 10 in some combination. Will it be minus 3 plus 10 or minus 10 plus 3? And it will be minus 10 plus 3 because that's what's going to add to make minus 7. So therefore, on my denominator, where's my pen gone? I can write x minus 10, x plus 3. Any common factor, by which I mean any entire bracket, can then be cancelled out. So x plus 3 and x plus 3 gets cancelled out. And my final answer that I'm left with is x plus 2 over x minus 10. This is in its simplest form. You cannot simplify further. With that in mind, pause the video and have a go at the question on the right-hand side. So with the question on the right-hand side, then you should have got the numerator factorises to x plus 6, x plus 2, because they times to make 12 and add to make 8. Your denominator factorises, right, they need to multiply to make minus 14, so it's going to be 7 and 2, and it's going to be negative 7 plus 2. So x minus 7, x plus 2. You cancel out any common factors, x plus 2 and x plus 2, meaning that your final answer you're left with is x plus 6 over x minus 7. And that is your final answer.